Okay, I am here now. I'm going to pick up that link and give it to folks. You're going to hear a little bit of something. Let's see here. I'm going to pick up that link and send it over. All right. I love doing this live right here on YouTube. We're doing it live because why not? Not. Okay. Hopefully there's Jennifer. She showed up. Hopefully some more folks will come over here. I apologize. Like I said, our internet is usually stable, but today it just went plumb out as it happens. Hey, Kim, thanks. If y'all could share the link in the comments somewhere, maybe to help people get over here. I apologize for that disruption. You never know what the internet gods are going to do, right? You just don't. And that is the sort of downside of going live. Fun times, right, Mary? Exactly. But we're going to roll with it. Lonnie is here. Good deal. It's going to look a little weird on YouTube. I'm going to have to end up downloading the videos and trying to edit them. So absolutely. Thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate it. We're going to still talk about all the fun stuff at the Maine Fiber Frolic. Thanks, Billy. All right. Hopefully some people are getting their notifications. You know, I like life. You just never know where it's going to take you, right? Have y'all ever had, experiences in life, surprises? Hi, Star. It's so good to see you. Good to see everybody. All right. I'm opening my little bag to show you a little bit of this kit. I think it's really cool. It's a thistle kit, field thistle. Looks like an awful lot like something you might find in Scotland to me. Thanks, Diane. I'm glad you made the effort to find me again. So it's got all the things. It's got the hoop. It's got the little threads, and it's really fun. And this particular vendor had, like, I don't know, 8 or 10 of these little kits out in all these different designs. They were really affordable. They were super fun. They're made by Subito Farm Designs. And I believe they are in, let's see, Green Bay, Wisconsin. And they're really, really neat. I loved it. I want to get this embroidered before our trip to Scotland. So that was one of the fun finds I found. Now I'm going to show you this other thing, but I'm in talks with these folks about maybe bringing these to the shop. This was the coolest little bag. It's called a knit fit bag. They had various designs, and it is made so you can put your yarn in it and you can knit or crochet as you're out and about. Like, I had posted videos before of me knitting at Disney when Jim and I would go. And this would have been perfect. Cute little bag. It's kind of this ripstop material that's really helpful. It's got this adorable little drawstring on it right there. Nice material again. It has a measuring tape piece of ribbon. So if you need some quick measurements, you can do that on the go. Got a little hook here, which is handy. And then it has, this is the genius part. There's lots of genius parts to this. But then it has these 2 little clips that you can clip it on your belt buckle or what have you to make sure that it hangs down and it is secure. The interior is super cute as well. I love the fabric that they use to line it. And it is absolutely adorable. So these are knit fit bags. It's a husband and wife team. And I got a chance to really chat with them. And I am delighted about this. And I want to bring these to the shop. I think it would be a lot of fun. So what are you as enamored with these as I am? There's a little pocket here as well. And your yarn just fits really handily in there. So hi, Dion. Good to see you. Belinda found me back. Anyway, knit fit bags. And they had several different designs. They had some show specials, but I liked this little cozy design. I thought it was just the right size. And you don't have to take it with you if you're knitting, and walking. You can just use it at home or use it for a cute little project bag. A knitter's fanny pack. That's right, Mary. So super cute. I loved that. Then I met, and I'm trying to look at my cards to see if I can remember some of these. Mrs. Hartman's Farmhouse Market. She was delightful. So she and her husband moved here from Okay, let me think. Wyoming. I want to say Wyoming. And they had sheep, they had a farm, and all the things in Wyoming. I think he's from Maine. And they decided to, I think they moved to Florida for a while, and then they moved up here to Maine. And she said, we were talking about my recent move to Maine. And I was like, so what made you go from Wyoming to Florida and then Florida to Maine? I think I have that right. And she's like, well, we kind of feel like Maine is like what would happen if Wyoming and Florida had a love child. I was like, okay. Maine's a little colder than Florida, I would say, but I get it. I get it. You got like cross-pollination going on there. So they are here in Maine. She no longer has sheep right now, but she does all kinds of things, wonderful things. And I picked up some cute things that she had from her from Merchant and Mills, a little sew kit that I loved. I'm going to open it up and show it to you. It's so beautifully packaged. Merchant and Mills. And in here, we've got all kinds of neat things. There is a little needle container. We've got pens. Merchant and Mills is a UK company. We've got this really neat, quite strong magnet. So you can use it for like a needle keeper or something. A nice little pair of scissors that are quite sharp. They have a little end on them. And then you've got this adorable little measuring tape, all in this handy little box. So I picked up that from her because I can't resist sewing stuff like that. And I also picked up this Merchant and Mills Finest Needles container. There's 25 needles in there. Who doesn't need more needles? I'm just saying. Yes, Julie, thank you. Please do hit the thumbs up if you like any of this. You know, I'm talking about sourdough. I'm talking about homemade granola. I'm talking about the Fiberfest. All right. So that's the little Merchant and Mills item. She was delightful to talk to. We talked about many, many things. I spent a lot of time in Mrs. Hartman's booth. That was a lot of fun. And then this little guy, you can look for these in the shop soon too. I don't have them just yet, but I will. By Englishman Bay, handmade. Loved these ladies. How cute is this? It's a little felted U. Look at the little bell. And she had all different ones of these. So what this is, I purchased a completed one because I got a whole lot of stuff going on right now and no time to do this at the moment. But it's a wood figure that she designed. She has a craftsman cut out the various wood figures for her. And then you can either purchase the kit to felt it yourself and your choice of wool, or you can purchase them already done, as I did, lazy way out, felting by check. And, or she has another design that is actually not felting, but it's actually wrapping with yarn. So we have some plans. We had some conversations, but how cute is that? And I got it in my little teal color that I love so much. I haven't named it yet. So there's that. And then another item that I was really excited about, I have really wanted to do some needle felting. Now, the good news is, when we go to Scotland, if you're traveling with us to Scotland, we're going to be doing a couple needle felting things. One is at Solway Woolscapes in Dumfries. In fact, I was just talking to Anne today. Not today, yesterday. We sent some more emails back and forth. We're going to be doing flat landscape felting with vintage, not vintage, heritage vintage. I guess you don't call living beings vintage. I would be vintage. Heritage Hebridean sheep wool. But I'm going to get a head start on it if I get to it, because I found this woman, and let me see, I have her card somewhere. Let me find it here. Give me 1 second. I think I have it. Let's see. The Felting Studio by Nasa Russo. There's her card. And she is located in Vermont, not very far from here. She was delightful. Got a long chance to talk with her. Absolutely. Folk art sheet. This is the kit that I selected. It's kind of in the cellophane, so you're getting a little bit of that glare. Let me see if I can turn. There you go. I'll show it to you from the side so you don't have so much of the glare. How cute is that? And Nasa designs all of her own kits. All of her own. Now, she had a big sign up in her booth that said, yes, you can do this if you're a beginner. And I'm like, can I really? Like, I've never done flat felting. It's a nice marketing thing to say a beginner can do it, but am I going to get in there and be miserable? She said, no, you can absolutely do it. There are loads of videos to help as well. And some of her items, some of her designs are very kind of folk arty, kind of like what I would categorize this as. But she also had some kind of, if you're into Renaissance fair stuff. She had some that looked like that. She had some Scandinavian designs. She had she's got the whole alphabet with flourishes that you can do, kind of Elizabethan alphabet designs. She has got a wide array. And so I spoke with her. She will do wholesale, and we can get these in the shop as well. So the hard part with that is going to be choosing which kits, because she has so many kits in her shop. So it's going to be difficult to decide which ones to bring to you. If you have any, anything that you're looking for, like if you prefer folk art, or you're looking more for Renaissance or Elizabethan, or you like the Scandinavian designs, or maybe you just want like the American folk art designs, let me know in the comments and I'll take that into consideration when I'm placing an order. But everything comes. This is one of the distinctions. Some of the kits do this, but I find that it's fewer kits that do what she does, which is she gives you everything you need, not just the design pattern and the wool. I mean, you've got all of the wool there that you need, but she also gives you, let me show you from the side. I don't want to open this up and get it strewn everywhere. She also gives you the felting board, this nice thick board that you need, plus the needles. She literally gives you everything you need. You don't really use scissors, so there's no tool like that, but there's the felting needles and all of that you need, and really good directions, the background fabric, all of the things that you need to complete this. And that was probably the booth that I had the hardest time pulling away from, I have to tell you. I really enjoyed talking with Nasa. I enjoyed looking at her designs. I was absolutely enthralled. It was a lot of fun to see what she had done, and her artistry is over everything. And I really have a lot of respect for folks who can do that sort of work. That creativity takes time and it takes energy, and she's doing it, and she's doing a great job. She was delightful to talk to. She's located in Vermont. We have family in Vermont, so we kind of shared a little bit of information about that, but she was great. So if you think you want to do some needle felting, and if any of those sort of design styles that I mentioned really hit you as something that you're interested in, do let me know, because I do plan to do some things with her. I met lots of other vendors. I got lots more cards, and we're having conversations about things. Many of the vendors, and I think most of you can appreciate this, as a small business, it is sometimes hard to branch out and do wholesale, because wholesale keeps you very, very busy. Of course, you're selling at wholesale rates. And so unless you do a huge volume, it's difficult to maintain a sustainable business doing wholesale. So I say all that to preface my next piece, which is I had a lot of conversations about, hey, do you wholesale? I'd love to bring your items to the shop. And several people really demurred and said, I wish we could, but we just don't. So my follow-up question to some of those folks were, are you interested in a limited collaboration, which looks a little bit different, which would mean we would collaborate on a particular product or a particular project for a limited amount of time and for a very set number of items. And most of them said, you know what, that I might be willing to do that. And so we're starting conversations about some of those with some of these other vendors. So stay tuned. You never know what's going to show up. But when it does, I'll let you know if it's a limited collaboration, which means you're probably not going to find it in any other shop. And it also means we're going to have a limited number for a limited amount of time. So I'll keep you posted about those items. The most fun, though, was talking to people, getting to know people, supporting other local fiber artists and what they do, and kind of getting into the Maine fiber community, which is awesome and a whole lot of fun. So that was the Maine Fiber Frolic. I look forward to going again next year, and maybe we'll do a little something to bring a few of the Yarny U's up to the Maine Fiber Frolic. Let me know if that's something you might be interested in as well. I know some of you actually live in the New England area, so it's not so much of a haul, but if you're down sort of in the southern part of the country, maybe it'd be a really fun trip. You never know. I told you I'm working on some possibilities for some retreats and things like that up in this area. Julie says yes. I think Julie's ready to hop on a plane, which would be awesome. So I love seeing Yarny U's here. So that's a lot of fun. And speaking of collaborations, I'm not going to tell you who it's with yet, but I'm trying to think when it's releasing, to be honest. I think it's around the holiday time. We've been working for several months on a collaboration with a company that I think you've probably heard of. And she does boxes complete with like bags and yarn and all kinds of goodies, kind of a good name. And as soon as I'm able to release it, I'll release that with you. But Sherry and Terry of Lonesome Pine Yarn Works, who are the exclusive dyers now behind the Olive and To You brand, they actually have just given me the 2 choices for this collaboration. And I emailed the partner, and I'm anxious to hear her response. That will be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm excited about that collaboration for sure. And then speaking about yarn and other yarnies and other fun things, of course, the Fiberside Chats Summer Yarn Crawl is coming up like really fast. I say really fast because Olive and To You Studios is one of 2 yarn shops that are presenting on the very first day, the opening day of the crawl. And I'm finishing up my video presentation. They're having us do it by video this year, which I think is a really cool idea for lots of reasons. And I'm finishing that up. We are very honored to be a part of that this year. And it's a great value. $10 gets you your all access pass for basically a fiber festival that you can do in your jammies. And it is over the summer. So it's not a couple of hours of really condensed rush time. It is spread out over Sundays, over the summer. So you can see a couple of shops, understand what they have to offer, take some time to peruse it, and then take your time until the next one. Not overwhelming at all. And you can view it at your leisure. So that is $10, gets you a whole summer of fibery entertainment and shopping experience. There's going to be discount codes. There are going to be patterns. There are going to be all kinds of fun things. And because we're doing it by video, I think you're going to get a little better feel for the personality and the vibe behind all of the collaborating and participating shops. It's a wonderful thing. We are so delighted and honored to be included this year. It's our first year. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. So down below in the, well, not on this video, not till I post it, but when I post it, it's on the old video for the live since we had the interruption for the internet today. But there is a link in the show notes, and you'll be able to click that link and go ahead and get your $10 all access pass. I'm really impressed with the fact that it's only $10. Honestly, for an event of this caliber and the fact that it lasts all summer and you can go back to it later, I would have thought maybe $25, but they did it for $10. So that's a great deal. So you definitely want to do that. Okay. I want to talk about a couple new things that we have this week, getting around to that because they are super fun. Both of them are pre-orders, I'll tell you straight up, but there are reasons for that. And one of them is extremely limited. So let's talk about the new things this week. And you are absolutely invited to a Yarny picnic. So we have our Happy Summer Picnic box. It's a mystery box, cool stitching and delicious yarns. I'm very excited about this box. Some of the feedback that we've received from previous boxes is that you like it. You don't mind having a really jam-packed box. You like it when we pack it with really substantial things. And this box, I'm just going to say this, there might be a really nice something to carry around your yarn in. I'm just saying. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be a really cool box. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cool. See what I did there? Ha ha. It's going to be delivered to you in the heat of summer, sometime probably early to mid-July. And it's going to have beautiful colorways. And I'm just going to tell you, I have seen the colorway up close and in person, and it's gorgeous. And I was like salivating. It is so incredibly delicious. I will be ordering possibly a sweater's worth for myself. It's not a tonal solid, but I think I could work it into a sweater, and it's gorgeous. It's juicy. It's delicious. It's beautiful. And you are not going to want to miss it. And the graphic may or may not, kind of does, have a little bit to do with the colorway. So you're going to really kick yourself if you don't get in on this colorway. So the box is going to be full of all kinds of beautiful things. It'll come to you probably like late, early to mid-July. Let's just say mid-July. And the link is in the show notes. If you know, once you get those, or you can go onto our website and just search picnic, or I've given you a handy dandy QR code there that while this is up on the screen, you can just scan it and go directly to it. I've been watching the orders for this come in, and I always get excited for the people who are ordering it because I think you're really going to love it. Might end up, I know I was going to say it might end up to be one of our best boxes yet. I know everybody was really delighted with the Palms to Pines, the Goodbye Florida, Hello Maine box. And this is definitely going to be of that caliber, if not better. So you're going to love it. Go ahead and pre-order it. It is on pre-order. And you get to choose your base. You can choose from Twain. You can choose from Rawlings, you can choose from Homer, and you can choose from Play-Doh. So we're actually doing 4 different bases, 2 fingering weight, 2 DK bases, and you can order that. This is another reason why I really recommend you do 2 devices. You can use your phone to scan the QR code if you've got me up on another device, but you want to get in on this. It also appears in your newsletter this week. Open your newsletter, check it out, because there's always expanded information in there. And then next up, the Yarn I Use has had a long-standing tradition of Hurricane Mystery Colorways. And as I've said a bunch of times before, we take hurricanes very seriously. Of course, I lived in Florida for many, many years, have a lot of Yarn I Use that live in Florida, a lot of friends that live in Florida, and those storms are no joke. But I know firsthand that when one is coming up on you and you're staring it down, kind of like feeling like a deer in headlights, it's nice to have a little levity, and we usually have a lot of fun in the Yarn I Use. So this year we decided to start off the 2025 hurricane season that began June 1st with what I'm calling our Top Stone colorway. So this is the first colorway of the Hurricane Mystery Colorway seasons this year. And, I'm hoping and praying it's the only one, because nobody likes to see hurricanes, but we are at the ready to dye up more hurricane colorways as they are needed. But you don't want to miss out on this very Top Stone colorway to begin the series. We've never done this before, and it seemed like a really good idea. So let's go ahead and get the hurricane party going. If you like a nice hurricane to drink, you can have one of those when your yarn arrives too. But throw some color on that storm is the name of this colorway. The graphic may or may not speak to the colors that are being selected, so no guarantees there. And it is a pre-order as well. Now, this is a highly limited pre-order because they have already begun that process. So we decided on the numbers for each of the bases, and maybe this is the one that has Homer as well. I should know these things before I go live. One of them has 4 bases, one has 3. I think the Hurricane Season Colorway only has 3 bases, which is going to be Twain, Rawlings, and Play-Doh. But you can check out all the bases when you scan that QR code or go over to the link and grab that. And I know many of you have already started that for sure, because nobody wants to miss a hurricane colorway. And who knows, maybe we'll play some games. Now, I am tossing around the possibility of doing some snowstorm or nor'easter colorways as well. I've got to talk to Sherry and Terry about that, but that's kind of my thinking. So we'll do all the storms. Let me know what you think about that. Absolutely. Oh, Lonnie, love the updated confirmation and shipping messages. Thanks. I hope they made you chuckle. Those were a lot of fun to write. I decided to kind of refresh things a little bit. It's always good to refresh some things. So I want to show you really quick a really special gift that was given to me, and then we're going to hop right into the whips this week. So Connie Brown Small, you all may know her. She lived in Florida, long-standing Yarn I Use. If you spend any time at the Knit Nook at Little Thimble in Celebration, you may have met Connie. Wonderful, very artsy lady. She does all the crafts. She quilts, she knits, she sews, she does all the things. She does cross stitch, maybe needlepoint too, all the things. Wonderful lady. Well, she turned 80 and moved up to Maine. That was her plan, to live with her family. And she's so active. I think she's got crafting things going on every single day of the week. And Jim and I had met with her a couple times for lunch when we were scouting out places up here in Maine. And then once we moved in, she waited. She said it was hard for her to wait, but she waited until she felt like we had enough time to get a little settled, because she made something for us and she wanted to bring it to us. And I have been neglectful in not showing it to you until now, but it has already been put in a very special place in our home. So Connie made this beautiful, beautiful pillow for us to represent Maine, from mountains to sea. And it's all in cross stitch. And those details, first of all, that is not a simple cross stitch. That took some real time. And we are so appreciative of that. I mean, wow, what a labor of love, and how kind is she to do that. And it's got all the things. You've got the pine trees, you've got the lighthouses, the ocean, the moose, the lobster. I mean, so many details in this. But she went a step further. Not only did she do the cross stitch, she could have just framed it. She made it into a pillow, but she even went a step further from that. She actually took each of the main motifs, main motifs. She took each of the main motifs from the cross stitch pattern and incorporated them into the fabric. So she chose fabric here. Let me see if I can do this here. You've got a moose there, so it matches the moose kind of over here. It's got the flowers here, which I'm pretty sure might be the flowers for Maine. It has the buoys for the sea up here. And I want to say there's a lobster in here somewhere, but I could be wrong. No lobster, but the buoys for the ocean. It just is, it's the little chickadees. That's the Maine state bird. I mean, just really gorgeous. And look at all the time that she took to make that. It was such a delightful gift. And so many of you have sent me things. I know Julie took care of us with our Scottish breakfast tea, our Brodies, when we moved in. She's like, I don't want you to have to hunt in your stash for your tea. I know you need your tea, and had some shipped to us from Amazon. So many of you have done such kind things. So I wanted to make sure and show this. Thank you again so much, Connie. It was just a delight. It has a very special place in the house, in our kind of evolving entryway by the front door on like an antique chair that we have there. So that was super, super kind of her to give that to us. So I'm so grateful for the Yarny Yous who've been incredibly supportive doing this transition for sure. And I know many of you are my Facebook friends, and you're also watching me do the sourdough and the granola and the yogurt, and you're like, what's going on? I've always loved to do those kinds of things. I'm just trying to find some balance and doing more of that here, and really, really enjoy it. Yes, the boys mark the lobster traps in the water. Absolutely. Mary Nielsen used to live here in Maine. Did y'all know that? When I told her we were thinking about moving here, she's like, I used to live in Maine. So she's been a real guide and a help through this process as well. Okay. Excuse me. Want to mention really quick, I should have mentioned it earlier. I think I just choked myself. This is the day of the live podcast with all the interruptions. Can I just say that? But you guys are tough and hardy, and you hang through it, and I appreciate that. We were talking about the Fiberside Yarn Crawl. Jill Perocchini is going to be the last, I believe she's the last Fiberside Chat guest. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. The link is in your show notes. It's also in your newsletter. You want to go ahead and get signed up for her. I am part of a fiber group that she's a part of, and she is a wealth of knowledge. She does a lot of education for us in that group. It's for fiber business owners, and she is wonderful. You don't want to miss her representation. Her presentation. She's really, really good. So she is the last one. She was supposed to come on earlier for Fiberside Chats, but she was in the way of some tornadoes. And so they ended up postponing it, but you don't want to miss it. All about sweaters, great information. You don't want to miss that. That will be the one that will wrap up the summer, and then we'll dive right into the Fiberside Summer Yarn Crawl. So don't miss that. You want to do that for sure. All right. Who wants to see some whips? Whips. All the whips are super fun. Let's go over and see what you all have been crocheting and knitting up. All right, I love seeing these. Tammy's been doing all the socks lately. So this is the Live Strong colorway from the 2025 Cancer Awareness Series. And she's using yak on her toes. And she, at the time that she posted this, she had just started the gusset increases, and I'd be willing to bet she's probably through those by now. But I love that Live Strong colorway from the 2025 Cancer Awareness Series. So grateful that so many of you are using those yarns and how meaningful that's become. So that was really beautiful. Next up, another pair of socks, again, was from the March Cancer Awareness Series colorway, Courageous Tide, and she's using a black yak fingering for the toe area. I guess that would make for a really kind of soft toe. And I love the contrast on that. So Tammy's knitting up all the socks lately. They're beautiful. Nancy Astenis is working on the Clipoti. The Knitty Magazine did a big, huge Clipoti promotion recently. We were part of that. And this was in the whip pile, and now it's getting some love, she says, as she's working on finishing up her whips, and that is with our Rawlings yarn. Making good progress on that, and it looks so good. Cindy Titus, she's working on the Hip Tote Feud cardigan. She says she's got her back and sleeves done, and she's done it in Twain. She's a real big fan of our Twain yarn. She's using the colorway Charcoal. That's looking good. I'm hoping she's going to be taking that to Scotland with us. Let us know in the comments, Cindy, if you're taking that to Scotland with us. I bet it's going to make the trip. Maria, oh my gosh, I love this. I got to see this in person before I left Florida. And she said she'll never not buy a beautiful mini hank again. It's the perfect pop of color. And she used some minis here from Back to School, a Salinger Pop Club mini. That was a singular one from our Salinger Pop Club. And the pattern is the Birkin by Caitlin Hunter. Down below in the show notes, at least once I get this all edited and put up so it's one cohesive podcast, you'll have the links to all of these patterns, of course. But I love how colorful that is. Maria did a fantastic job on that. All right, Jamie working. She's in the home stretch of the lace hem of her Moon Glade tee. This pattern, I looked at it. This looks like a fantastic pattern for summer. And one of the things that we've talked about before is how our Rawlings yarn with the silk content, it's got the merino wool and then it's paired with silk, gives you a lighter texture. And it's great for summer stitching. And this is a beautiful little pattern. Doesn't look too incredibly difficult. Might have some social knitting in it. And neat pattern. So I encourage you to check it out. So she's on the home stretch of it. She's a super quick knitter as well. Lonnie Holt, she's working on a Marley Bird pattern. And this is the Marie Celtic Cable Cow, which I was like, okay, clearly I need to check that out because maybe that would need to make its way to Scotland. I might could get that done in time. But I love that Celtic cable on that. And that is in Forest on the Homer base, which is one of our DK yarns. So really, really pretty. I happen to be wearing my beautifully basic tee today in kind of a vintage olive and 2U colorway. You might recall if you've been around any amount of time, I've developed like a whole wardrobe of these. It's short sleeved and it's great because the weather is getting warmer here in Maine, and I wore them all the time in Florida because they work so well under, like if you're a professional and you need like a little shell underneath a jacket for work, it works. If you want to wear it with jeans or shorts, it works. It works under overalls. It works under all the things. And that link also will be down in the show notes for you for the beautifully basic tee. Melissa Kimmerer designed that. It was in the very first edition of Nomadic Knits, and she actually used olive and 2U yarn to design it. So that's a lot of fun. All right, great. Cindy says that cardigan is going to Scotland with her, so I'm glad to hear that. One of the fun things about traveling to Scotland with the Yarny Use is seeing all the things that people have stitched up and bring. It definitely makes it a lot of fun. And there's still, I've got like less than a week now to sneak in anybody extra. So as I mentioned on Thursday in the Yarny Use for our little shop update chat, if you want to get in, I can sneak you in, but very soon that door is going to close. So if you've got a friend who might be interested in going to Scotland for a great time, do let us know. It's not too late. I can call you on the phone, get you all updated, get everything started for you. And you too can travel to Scotland and do the felting, and you can pet the Yarny, I started to say the Yarny Use. I don't think there should be any petting of Yarny Use going on the trip. You can pet the Highland Coos and groom them as we head over to Kitchen Ewes and Coos. You get a fabulous farmhouse tea, and then we've got a lovely afternoon tea and Edinburgh booked. All kinds of fun things, definitely workshops, Yarny shopping, all kinds of fun things. And you get to hang out with the Yarny Use, and what could be better than that? All right, I do plan to be live here next week. Let's cross all of our fingers that the internet holds up really clearly next week. But the beauty part is I always get these posted up on the video tab here on the channel, and you can go back and watch any of them, and or you can watch live. Did you know that? Did you know there's a live tab up there down below on YouTube? There's also a community tab where sometimes I make posts and updates. There's also a shop tab, and you can go right there and click the links for the products that I'm talking about today on the video. And or you can go to the video tab and see past videos. We make it really, really easy. If you're new to the channel, we are Olive and 2U Studios. We're here every single Saturday. If you haven't already done so, you want to subscribe, of course, hit the bell so you get the notifications, invite your friends, and please do give us a thumbs up. It really helps. There's some really intangible things, not intangible. There are tangible things that you can do that don't cost you anything to help support our small business. And these times right now are really difficult for small businesses. And so I appreciate your support to let us continue on doing the magic in the Yarn Use and Olive and 2U Studios that we love to do. You all are great. So grateful for you. Thank you very, very much. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for showing up, and I'll see you in the Yarn Use. Take care. Bye-bye.